other. Most people won't interject for fear of, being stabbed themselves. But I would personally feel safer if I had a gun. So if somebody came at me with a knife, I would take the gun out, and it would end there and then. And I think it's more of a culture thing rather than a weapons thing. You look at somewhere like Switzerland. Switzerland has a higher per capita ratio of gun ownership, but their crime level is extremely, extremely low. And I'll always go back to the reason why Americans put the right to bear arms into their constitution. It's it's when the government goes rogue. So then you have the ability to defend yourself. I mean, you may think, that will never happen. That could never happen. But it fucking does happen.
But that's what it was for. That's what it was for. It was for the government when they get tyranny,
Yeah, to prevent that, so people have some power. Now, granted, you're not going to put up much of a fight against, F-16s and the weapons the government have, but they have to go door to door. And in Ireland, basically, we don't have much of an army. But the way we managed to get through the issue with the English and in 1916 was through guerrilla tactics. And so, if we didn't have those weapons, it would still be the same case. And of course, nobody wants to go, okay, well, yeah, I want to kill somebody. And most people can never imagine themselves killing anybody. But go hungry for 2 or 3 weeks and you fucking eat your next door neighbor if you have to.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Can I just say that?
Well, that's what I worry about sometimes.
The only problem I have with it is, like, if you've got a hammer, every problem becomes a nail. Do you understand what I mean?
But you have a hammer already, so every problem isn't dealt with your hammer.
I've got it. So when I've got a hammer in my hand, I go around hitting all kinds of shit. I'll hit anything with my hammer.
How many people have you hit with a hammer in the last week?
I'll hit the fence. I'll hit the fucking anything.
Yeah, but you won't hit the person next door. Are we to say that if we own guns, that we're all going to go out in the morning and start killing people left, right, and centre? Like,
when you say about how many a day, did you know in America
it's more likely to end?
In open carry states in America, the criminals are on the back foot, not the lawful citizens. I'm not being funny. In some states in America, they don't mess about. All the criminals know this. They know it's a very high possibility that they'll be carrying. If it's not on show, it doesn't really matter, and they'll get taken out. When the chief sheriff of the county says things, we've all seen it. They say, "Well, next time they can take some lessons off us because they took 4 shots to kill him. Hopefully, we can cut that down to 1 shot." But if like I said, if you burgle it out, we've seen them say this. I remember the guy said.
I know what you mean, Welshman lad.
It's not like there's 125 daily deaths of things like homicides, suicides, and accidental shootings and stuff involving guns.
Can I just say can just one thing
the crime
shootings a day over there.
Yeah. The main point is that, and it's indisputable.
Whoa! No, everyone's talking, man. I can't hear a fucking word anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I just finish the point?
The main point is,
JJ. No, JJ. Let me finish, because what it is when you go to states like Detroit and stuff, and Chicago, where guns are completely banned, right? Then it's in the criminals' advantage, because they don't care. They don't care whether guns are legal or not, because they're not. It doesn't matter. They're a criminal. So it puts the lawful citizens on the back foot then, because they can't protect themselves.
Right.
It's almost as though, imagine again, just like we were saying to our American friend there, Welsh. I think the main thing is to do is imagine the situation with no guns, kind of like the UK. So is it like that in the UK, where there's no legal, not real, there's legal avenues, but gun violence in the UK compared to America, there is a huge difference, isn't there, Welsh?
Yes, obviously. I mean, nothing's like it in the world. I know the point you're going to make, but regardless, America's America. You can't get rid of the guns in America. There's more guns than people in America.
We did it in lots of Europe, all over the place.
It's never going to happen. You don't understand the Constitution. You don't understand the Constitution for saying that. You really don't.
We're talking about an amendment. We're talking about an amendment, aren't we? The key word is amending. You can amend it again.
You can amend it, and it is outdated. I go back to it's outdated.
250 years it hasn't been amended. So carry on, lads.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because 250 years ago they had AR-15s.
Can I
If
just
they
add
had
in
them,
there?
it would be nice. It would be nice if
Can
they
I just
did.
can I just add in there? You know, the Constitution did used to have prohibition in there. Did used to have slavery. They amended them, didn't they? So why can't go back?
What good would it do Americans to,
Well,
amend their laws where they have no guns?
Reduce gun crimes. It would
What do
reduce
you
gun
care?
deaths.
What
Where
do you care
no
about?
mass school
There's more
shootings.
deaths.
no.
There's more
No
deaths
mass
from
school
bowel
shootings.
disease. There's more
No
deaths
mass
from
school
bowel
shootings.
disease
That's the
than
massive one.
You don't care
I
about
wouldn't
deaths
stop that.
in American schools.
Right,
Let's be real. Let's be real.
honestly,
Nobody fucking cares
Yeah.
about the deaths of a couple of kids in the
Constitution
States,
is
really.
composed of the preamble, 7 articles,
You
and
don't think no one
27
cares?
amendments.
Not really. Not in a real sense. Not in a real sense.
27 amendments. So it gets
Somebody name
amended.
me. Somebody name me five. Somebody give me the names of 5 children in America who've died in school shootings quickly.
I don't know. Just
All right,
check.
but no,
Exactly. No one
Don't have
really
to know
No,
what-
you're
I
right.
don't
You're
have
right.
to
We
know-
don't know the names, so who cares if they all die, right?
have to
There you
know,
go.
man.
No, you
The
don't
job's
care
good
really.
then.
Like millions of people die every
I
day.
tell you what, I'm
Why
gonna
does
let
it
you guys
matter?
in on.
Why does it
I'm-
matter if
I'm-
somebody dies by a gun or bowel disease?
Well, this
Why
is
is
interesting.
the outrage about bowel disease?
All right.
Because
Can I
if
just-
a family of a member of your family, I think it would matter. I really
Did it
think
happen
it
Can I
would.
just say it's interesting? I've got an interview coming up,
My
right?
family have died from different things, but I don't call for a ban on everything.
I've got an interview
There's a
coming up
bigger
very
question here
soon.
about why.
I've got
What
an
is the
interview coming
reason
up
to
with
own
someone.
guns? Why is it that we
Ordinary.
feel comfortable that
Hang on,
the
bro.
government has guns and criminal have guns?
Hang
And
on,
you
bro.
want to take the right away from law-abiding citizens to be able to
And
properly.
taking guns away from everybody would be the idea. I don't know why you keep
That's
saying
a
that.
fantasy. Like,
But you're
They did it
deluding
here.
yourself.
They've done
You're
it here.
deluding.
We've done it in lots of places.
But Britain is not
Where?
America.
What about government?
There's no.
I'm honestly surprised you know the difference, Welshie. I'm genuinely shocked you know the difference. I'm sure they all blur together in your eyes. But we have done it across the world.
JOJ, don't start talking like a fucking knob shite, all right? No, don't start talking like a knob shite. We're having a conversation. Don't start that bullshit, all right?
Don't act like you're making reasonable, normal human points.
There's 400 million guns in private ownership in America. There's more guns than people. In the UK, about 1-2% of the population had guns. That's the fucking difference.
What about it's not only happened in the UK, has it?
Yeah.
But is anybody safer for not having guns?
Quiet. Okay.
Nothing is like America. There's more guns in private ownership than people. Give me a country that got more guns than people.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It makes it completely different.
Hey, Welshie, if you let someone else talk, they'd explain why it's different, but you're going to be a child about it because you have the mental capacity of one. That's just what you're doing.
If somebody wants to do harm to
Carry on,
somebody,
Jay.
they will do whatever they
No
want to
such
do.
thing as
and they will
nuance,
use
is there,
whatever they want
Welshie?
to
There's
use.
no such thing as any sort of complexity with anything. You can't just say that, hang on a minute, entire continents have gotten rid, entire continents have done this stuff, including the European continent.
But no other country in the world has the
I've
ownership of
just
guns like
explained to you that
America.
entire continents have done this, and you're like, but no other country, but entire continents have done that. That directly answers what you're saying. And undermines
But
what
my
you're saying.
point is, 2%, 5% of the population
That's
had
my whole
guns then.
point. Not at the time. They were very prevalent. They were very prevalent
not
within society
75.
after the war, and then there was a massive cleanup during that time after the war where there was an extensive amount of guns, unbelievable amounts of guns. The entire continent cleaned up. Oh, sorry, Welshie. I know you're allergic to facts, but that's just how it was.
There was a world war that went right across fucking Europe and came back. Loads of weapons every fucking where, and they have cleaned them up. You're talking shit, Welshie. Even when you shout, it doesn't make it true.
Let's work this out then.
All right, yeah, let's do it in a way where we're not going to all speak over each other, yeah?
Okay.
Because
2 minutes each.
people in the chat can't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm sure other people on the panel can't hear
I'll tell you what, it's going to be impossible with Welshie on the thingy. So I'm going to drop down and you guys will have a much smoother time. I tend to struggle.
No,
in
BBA.
a way where just like I say, man, it'd be a consideration for everyone on panel. There's not just me. There's not just you. There's all of us.
Oh no, that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. Right, no worries, you guys take it easy, anyways.
No, don't go, Jay. Don't be silly.
No, I just honestly, I love coming on panels. I love chatting with people, but some people are just pricks, and I can't be asked spending time.
The sad thing was we were debating, and he started some attacks on me, and I responded. You know.
No, you're just a shouter, Welshman. You just
shout. I want to answer Audit in here because he's like, oh, no one cares. to say no one cares, that's silly, man. I see atrocities around the world, bro, and like especially when it comes to children. And as a parent, I can't help but fucking feel some emotion there. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'm
understand.
saying
I understand that.
well, she's right in what
Hang
she's
on, can
saying.
you get back out to stop for a
so
second?
so for instance, yeah. So I've got an interview coming up soon, actually. With I can't say too much about it, right? Other than basically, it's a woman who from America whose son is serving over 1,000 years in prison for a mass shooting.
Okay.
So she's going to be coming on. Wingnut would probably know if I said. I'm not going to. I'm just going to release the interview. Yeah. It's taken a while because I've had to wait for her to go through certain legal issues before she can do an interview.
That'll be a good
but
one,
yeah, it'll be
lads.
interesting to hear because you don't really hear it. You hear like about the incident. You'll hear maybe victims' names, etc. But I've never really heard a mother or somebody whose son is actually been convicted of such a crime. So should make for an interesting interview and to see what her are as well.
Okay, so can I respond to that about the caring issue?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't mean it in the sense that nobody cares or like I couldn't care less, like fuck them if they die. What I mean is nobody really cares. Like, so if you really care, like say one of your relatives dies or a friend dies, well then you really care about that person. So when we see these school shooting in America, it is a tragedy. Like it's awful. It shouldn't happen. But nobody really, cares that much to actually reach out to the family, to start their own campaign. And really, essentially,
people have empathy.
I know they have empathy, but let me finish. Let me finish.
No.
But nobody really fucking cares. Like you guys listening to me now, if something happened to me tomorrow and I come on and say, listen, this happened, everyone go, oh, that's terrible. But you wouldn't really care in the real sense of the word,
I know, but you're saying it a bit.
You say that, but I disagree.
Or what?
But no, like empathy has its limits, right? And there's the thing with empathy. Empathy. Hang on, listen. Let me finish. You have got to let me finish. So empathy can become toxic, right? So if we look at the, say the left in Europe and the States, where empathy becomes toxic, where you care so much for others that you lose sight of what's actually good and healthy for yourself and as a society, right? And as free individuals, if you don't have the ability to protect yourself, you are weak. And I've listened to this chat and others like it for a little bit, but basically everybody complains how tyrannical their governments are, how much overreach there is. And they're the ones, that's the enemy, and they're the ones that are armed to the fucking teeth. And people shit on Americans, but we're the ones who've been brainwashed.
Because having guns will change policies, though. I don't understand.
It won't change policies, but it gives you the ability to protect yourself and your family, right? Let's look at the immigration problem. Let's do a bit of imagination. 10 guys come storming into your house. And what have you got? A fucking hammer or a knife?
How many people, and I don't know this statistic, I've just thrown out probably a pointless question, but how many people do you think actually are out there protecting themselves with their guns to the amount of people that are using guns to go out and just fucking do insane shit like kill people?
Well,
okay.
I've no idea, but the idea for me with gun ownership is to be able to protect.
Because you've already said it, there's hardly any home invasions because already they're put off by the fact that they haven't.
But it's to have the ability to defend yourself. So, and in the event that a government goes tyrannical, and they do all the fucking time, then you have some ability to defend yourself. So in the UK, I look across the water and I see people getting locked up for fucking stupid posts they've made on Facebook. Like, that's not too far away.
There was a guy that got put in. There was a guy that got put in jail for sitting there praying for his son in front of an abortion clinic. That was in the UK, wasn't it?
It's insane. Like, and so on the one hand, you've got people, up in arms, like, oh, it's terrible. We can't say this, we can't say that. And then when you say, well, how about the right to protect yourself so you don't end up in these situations? And that's what the American forefathers saw. They knew. That's why they left fucking Britain. They knew that governments go tyrannical. And the reality of it is the only way to protect yourself, as hard as it is to accept, is violence. when push comes to something, it comes
Right.
down to it.
Oh,
Because
you don't say.
if we were back in Neanderthal time too, you'd have the same people saying we need to ban sticks. You know,
Can I just
if you
chip
only
in here?
Yeah, go on,
Of
BG.
course, you've got to be.
Go on,
You know, this amendment or whatever, the forefathers, it was written years ago. You know,
Yeah.
it was written when muskets was about, not freaking AR-15s and bloody semi-automatic weapons.
If I can interject quickly, if they had AR-15s back then, they would have put in AR-15s.
Yeah,
They had
of
muskets
course.
back then. So, but it doesn't matter. Like, so you will never. The reality is, a well-organized government is basically it's impossible to defeat in conventional warfare. When things go bad, the only way to do it is through guerrilla tactics. And if you don't have the ability to defend yourself, or in the American Constitution, you know, to form militias, that's why they formed the militias, because they were protecting themselves
I'm
against
sure
the
this
enemy,
is about what
which
we're
is
going down
the
in
government.
America at the minute.
But even if you're going against your government, though, you're taking a gun to a drone fight.
Yeah.
The government will always win.
Absolutely.
So what's the point?
No.
Well, if that's the case, you may as well just roll over and fucking accept everything they do to you. Like, you know, have them forcibly vaccinate you.
Well, that's what you're going to do anyway, pal. No one's going to ever overthrow a government. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell would you be able
Well, how would you mitigate that?
Do you know the reason they're not? Because you're never going to get enough people to, and there's proof in that. And the reason there's proof in that is because we have governments. Where's all these governments being overthrown? Where is it?
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't happen because it doesn't happen.
Governments do get overthrown.
It's overthrown by other governments. It's a Game
of
of Thrones.
You have internal revolutions.
See, that's the thing. The federal government is not the throne. Okay, that's the difference. The federal government is not the throne. It's not the castle. It's not the not the king's kingdom. We're not in the king's kingdom over here. Fuck all that bullshit. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose and the whole reason for America in the first place, because all of us came from a country that was oppressed to the point of like being ruled over by a few select people that think that they have the godly fucking given right to rule over you, and you have the obligation to just sit there and obey. That's bullshit.
In return for safety, booming economies.
No, see, that's the whole reason why we left all that shit, because that is all bullshit.
And here we are.
You know? Well, I'm just saying, that's the reason why I don't want it to be like the rest of the world. I want the rest of the world to start acting like us, be more free. And honestly, we still need to work on our own shit here, because quite honestly, we're being overrun by this foreign mentality that comes in, infiltrates. It does. It infiltrates. A lot of it has to do a lot of this communist type of thinking, honestly, and this socialist type of thinking, and that's infiltrating our nation. You know,
we go to communism.
Well, we'll never ever win the American over.
Without even understanding what it means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying everywhere else is communist. I'm saying that this type of mentality is being infiltrated into our nation, and it's switching it from what it was originally supposed to be to something that is more common. You know what I mean? Because honestly, man, there is a plan to unify all nations into one thing.
Guns don't make you free, pal.
No.
Guns don't make what?
No,
guns don't make you free.
Also,
they aid in that. I think what there is, there's a complete difference in mentality. Like, so the American mentality is based around individual freedom. Here in Europe, it's more collective.
Yeah.
America has more laws than any country I know. Honest to God, everything you want to do, you've got.
There's more people in prison here than there is in any other country.
To check that you can do it. Even fishing and fucking, all that stuff.
Yeah, no shit.
You can't do it unless you got a license for this, a license for that, a permit. Fucking.
I know that's why people advocate. That's why people advocate about not to have government interference. And when you don't have the ability to do something about it, well, then it just becomes more and more oppressive over fucking time.
Exactly.
And we have people here in this chat now saying, "Oh no, we need more oppression. We need less ability to defend ourselves. They're going to fuck us anyway. So let's just roll over and die."
You already
American spirit is
you already have done, but they have to have so many laws to control you. I don't get it.
It's like anyone can rule you if you don't have the ability to defend yourself. well, then someone just rules over you. Think of bullying in school. If you're not
the bad people win. The bad people win. They don't care about gun laws. They don't care about gun laws. The bad people, they'll just get the guns.
Well,
how did how did all those that protested at the Capitol building get on? When they tried to overthrow their government, how did they get on with that? Where are most of those people?
There was no guns involved in that one except for the officers.
Where are they now? where are they now?
Yeah, but they're
that proves the point how tyrannical governments are when you protest.
I'm just saying, I'm with you that you should be allowed to do that, but the reality is not the same. The reality is not the same from our.
Yeah, but the reality is, right, so here's the reality. So we go back to when America was founded, okay? It was kind of, it was an even game, okay? And the idea was to limit the powers of government. But they were a very intelligent men, so they knew that, okay, eventually government has a tendency to grow and expand. And you can have this, minarchist view of government where you keep it as small as imaginably possible.
Allowed to talk shite though, Irish? Why
is what?
You're allowed to talk shite?
Well, that's what the media do.
Because it's part of one system. There's always been, like, the reason people left the UK in the beginning, the founding fathers and those people who went to America, is because they lived in such a tyrannical society where everything was controlled by a small elite. You had your aristocracy and they controlled everything. And then, we had various revolutions and the aristocracy went by the wayside, and there's arguments to be made, well, you should have kept it anyway. But those people didn't just vanish. They didn't just, disappear into the ether. They just merged into different fucking entities. So you say
they left the UK?
Central banking system, the cartel of the banking system.
The reason people went to America is because they left a tyrannical society. Like they weren't free to practice their own religion. They were taxed to the fucking hilt. I know all of ours for different reasons.
Like Irish there to this day, as you know.
Okay, well, what point does that make?
Can I just bring up the point about criminals having guns?
Yeah.
So if you took all the guns away, now Australia proved this when they had the biggest mass shooting ever, and it still hasn't been beaten to this day.
I agree. It is different though. I agree with you. They did stop. I know the point he's making about Australia because they banned it in Australia.
The banned it in Australia. The weapon that was used ended up being £1,000. It ended up, as soon as they banned them, it was £30,000 on the black man.
I agree with you, but do you know how much gear is out there? Coke is like £150 out there. The difference between Australia and America is you've got Mexico next door, and the CIA, apart from the CIA, were importing guns to Mexico and drugs back and forth. It's such a porous border. The criminals will always be able to get guns in America. You can't confiscate 400 million guns.
Well, the largest criminals are the government, man. Let me tell you, man. That's the largest.
I know that. But am I right in saying the CIA were flooded America with gear, and then paying for it with guns to Mexico?
Yeah, you're getting involved in conspiracies and that.
No.
It's Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious.
So there's actually a film with Tom Cruise in it where it was proven, mate, where they
would fill the planes with guns to Mexico and then fill the planes with coke on the way back. And Arkansas was a big place for it. There's a thing called Arkansas. Check up that word, Arkansas, and see what happens.
It wasn't Mexico, it was Nicaragua.
Sorry.
Runs that
story again. Yeah.
It's a very porous border, and that's the reality. You can't.
Well, that was actually not done at the border. That was done by plane.
Yeah, maybe people build that fence like 35,000 feet high. So
well, you give any mafia enough money and enough resources, they'll do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And that's what the government, the corporation technically that is in place right now today here in America is not necessarily running unconstitutionally. You know, it's all done in a fraud. Even the fiat currency, this petrodollar is unconstitutional. Technically, the only constitutional money that we're supposed to have is gold and silver. But they took all that away illegally, basically unconstitutionally. In the back rooms, they'd say, "Oh, this is only temporary." Well, nothing ever is temporary with the government. They claim temporary at the beginning, kind of like the shot in the arm thing. They said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, just 2 weeks turned into freaking years down the line, and they're still trying to fucking put that back into the play. You know what I mean? Because that was a way of control. I mean, you see how many people over there actually would call the cops if people weren't wearing a mask. You know what I mean? We got crazy for a minute there, you know? And so...
The point I'm trying to... cost millions and millions. No, the Zaka cards from Iraq.
The point I was trying to prove is, though, if you ban guns, the price of guns would go exponentially higher, making it more difficult for criminals to purchase said guns.
Yeah, if you ban guns, criminals will just buy guns, and the law-abiding citizens won't, and then the criminals will have the upper advantage. America is unique.
Yeah, but if you're going to have an home invasion, guys, you know, all they want is your TV. All they want is your TV. Just let them have the TV. Just go buy a new TV on insurance.
All countries are unique, Welshman. I don't know if you've never wherever you live. Yeah, all countries are unique.
Going to let someone mug you? Just let them. Oh yeah, just let them. Fuck it.
Well, if they've got a gun.
If they've got a gun, yeah. So if someone, if you've got home invaders, like baby, and with a gun, are you just going to let them take your TV?
What you're saying is then, so every home invader, to be a successful home invader, just needs to make sure they carry a gun.
Yeah, especially in a gun-free state.
I don't know.
Which the criminals will go get those guns if that's the case.
Yeah,
that's
correct.
I mean, that's just an assumption you're making, but that's not.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
It's bad for them.
Let me ask you a question.
All
right, check it out.
Hang on, let Scouse talk, bro. I haven't heard from him. Go on, Scouse. You're a bit low for some reason.
Liverpool, it's not a knife city no more, mate. You don't come to Liverpool with a knife for the fight because they call straps.
There you go.
Well, okay, put it this way. Imagine yourself being a burglar, all right? And you got two neighborhoods, one across the street from each other. All right, the one on the left, almost every person in that neighborhood is carrying a gun and probably has access to a gun or something like that and willing to use it to defend their home and their family and stuff like that. All right. And then you got the other neighborhood to the other side of the street that doesn't have anything. All right. You have the other neighborhood that doesn't have any guns at all. Which one would you want to burgle?
Yeah.
How about if nobody had guns? I mean, that was the original.
But they've got 400 million guns.
How about that's a false dilemma. That's a terrible argument. Imagine if nobody had guns.
Yeah, it is a terrible argument because it's not going to happen.
I mean, guns.
It's 400 million guns. There's 400 million. How are you going to get them for a start?
I know about it for certain. They've removed guns from the UK.
Well, who is going to remove those guns?
Yeah, because criminals still have the guns. Like, you don't get it. Like, they've removed them away from law-abiding citizens.
When we say imagine no guns, right, we mean no guns.
We may as well put on the fucking guns. We may as well.
There's always going to be guns. There's always going to be guns. But the only people who are going to use guns are criminals, not law-abiding citizens.
You can keep shouting it and tell me again how many guns there are.
But no one's agreeing with you, Nick. No one's agreeing with you, Nick.
It has been done. It's been done all over the country.
It gets done in countries that don't have a high percentage of people that own guns in the first place, and the vast majority of gun owners in the UK, right? They got shotguns. It's shotguns they got. They haven't got pistols and machine guns.
Shotguns.
Nude Guru makes a good point. If you let someone convince you to disarm yourself, you fail to realise what they were there for to begin with. Yeah. That's a fair point.
Yeah. Look, predators prey on the weak.
If you're not
exactly.
Look at the jungle. Like, lions don't attack the healthiest fucking gazelle. They go after the weak. The weakest
That's
gazelle,
right.
they attack that.
Yeah,
So like,
How about you put in new law if you get caught with?
that gun, right?
Larry,
As long as I protect myself, fuck the next guy because he hasn't
Yeah.
got a gun. What you mean?
How you put a law in that if when you ban guns and then if you get caught with a gun, death sentence. Bosh. They'll soon hand them in.
Okay, but Bear, I can get this video now where it shows this woman in a house. Her husband had died like a week, 2 weeks before, and this woman's in the house. She's pregnant and she's got children in the house. These two lads broke into her house. She's on the phone to 999, and she said, "I've got a gun." And the woman says, like, you know, just stay here. There's police on their way. And she goes, if you use the gun, and she goes, yeah. She goes, if they come through my door, she goes, you do what you feel you need to do. Well, she killed them both, right? And there it is. There. She is so weak in that circumstance. I know it's it's an exception. Well, I'll get it now for you. It's real.
But they're just trying to get the TV.
Yeah, and she blew him away with a shotgun.
Right.
Where was this?
In America, and the sheriff said, "I'm fully behind her."
Phone 999 and get an answer.
What do you mean? She's in America. That's what you
phone 999.
Oh, go on then. Go on. You got me there, Nix. You got me there.
Response is not that
No, it's
quick,
not
dude.
about getting you, mate. It's just
Yeah, you got me. You got me there,
not
mate.
about getting you, Welshie. It's not about that.
Well, so what was it about? What was it about?
I assumed for a while you were talking about somebody in the UK.
No.
So that's why I fucking spoke
it's
up.
America.
It's not about getting you. It's not that personal. You're not that fucking. You don't mean that much to me.
okay, well, how does it stand in the UK at the moment? What can you legally do to protect yourself in the UK at the moment? Because here you can't have pepper spray, you can't carry a knife, you can't carry any
You
sort
can't
of
do pepper spray here. What they do here is they carry that marker spray, and then so they'll spray someone with that marker spray, and then go to the police and say,
Isn't that pathetic though? Like that's all you can do is put a bit of paint on somebody who attacks you.
Yeah,
and then,
you can carry
you can do nothing to prevent it.
Carry a crossbow.
Oh well, that's something, I suppose. Because to my mind, like it's really about making people helpless. Like, so then you have to rely on government for everything. And I think that's the difference between the American spirit and the European spirit. The American spirit is always about the individual as primacy. It's about, individual rights. And in Europe, it's a far more socialist society and everything is collectivist. We have to take
I don't believe we should have them. You say someone's on a burglary, right? And there's kids that see them shooting a mum and dad, and then they go, you know what? You might as well shoot these two, and then there's no fucking witness. It'd just be nuts. That's what would go on. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the fear, like that everybody just goes nuts. So then you have to accept yourself. You have to ask yourself the question first: would that be you in that situation? If you in the morning someone gives you a handgun, do you suddenly become like a mass murderer? Like all these guys in the States where they commit these mass shootings.
Oh, hang on. If you've given a gun to someone that's not trained to use it and stuff, yeah, you just handed somebody a gun.
That's the problem you have.
Yeah, I'm asking them like the hype. So we're all dealing now in far-fetched hypotheticals. So I'm giving them a hypothetical. If somebody hands you a gun, do you automatically become this crazed monster who's going to turn up at the local fucking schools, start killing kids, or
who knows?
Well, come on, be honest. Like, so if I handed you a gun now, the next morning, would you go to the local school? Do you know what I've really wanted to do all my life, but only that I didn't have a handgun? I wanted to shoot up a fucking school.
Can I tell you what I do?
Yeah,
honestly?
that's bullshit, though.
Somebody gave me a gun, right? Hang on, let me tell him. Please let me tell you. If somebody gave me a gun, I'd have to hide it because it's illegal. I'd have to hide it because it's against the law, and I'd have to hide it in case my kids.
Oh yeah.
But you're just explaining now. So if it was legal, I'm saying like we're dealing with this hypothetical. So it's legal. Somebody hands you a gun. Do you automatically become some crazy lunatic?
I would keep a gun in a safe. You wouldn't wear it on the hip, would you?
But you're avoiding the question. You're avoiding.
Anyway,
the question is, if I handed you a gun in the morning, would you become a crazed shooter and go to a school and start killing people left, right, and center?
I don't know. I don't understand the mind of school shooters, but
exactly.
I know that
it's the mind. It's not the gun. It's the mind.
Right.
No, that old argument's daft, man.
And those are the ones that should
No,
be
but it's
punished,
still
not
comes
the
down
average
to
citizens.
Guns are made
daft.
specifically to
We
kill
have cases
things.
in China where there's mass
Targets.
stabbings in school because guns aren't available. Does the gun make it easier? Yes. You know, are we going to have this argument? Okay, well, let's do away with every gun on the planet because a couple of kids might get shot up in some state in America that everybody's going to forget about in 2 days until the next one.
Wow.
So what government does is government uses that as a pretext then to disarm their entire population. Oh, well, we have to disarm everybody. It's the think of the children argument. It's a fallacious argument.
Right.
So,
And it always has been and it always will
can
be.
disarm people. It
I
can
do.
be
That's
done.
the reason
I
why
don't
I
know
need
why
guns,
people
is
frame
because
this
I do
argument.
think of the children.
Yeah, you can't. But you keep saying it hasn't been done anywhere. All you do is you disarm basically law-abiding people. Criminals don't give a fuck about the law, hence the name criminal.
Bear,
So they
Bear,
Like we
Bear,
suggested
Bear,
earlier,
Bear.
this sentence for carrying a gun for only one. If you're
criminals
not
don't care, man. They don't care.
Bear, are you there, mate?
Oh, I think a lot of them do care. I think you're imagining far too much.
Oh yeah, at the criminal meeting, they sit down and go, you know, lads, I was going to commit that gun crime, but because the laws are so strict, I'm not going to do it now.
Here you are. Here's a gun. Don't let
Jesus
anyone
Christ.
catch
Only
you.
Bear, are you there?
That is going to be so fucking hidden. You must be crazy.
Just percentage wise.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Ange.
Enjoy the question that you asked.
going to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Ange.
No, you please go, please. I've only arrived just.
I forgot what I was going to say because of Irish. I can get words in edgeways with him.
That's because we've had our weapons taken away from us. The only weapons Irishmen have are their words, like because if I had a gun, I'd come over to Liverpool and get you, you know.
No, but come on, words can slay, you know it. No, make it. But no. So if someone gave me a gun, I would absolutely shit myself. No matter my daughter, I found the BB gun in a room about 2017 it would have been.
Let me ask you this: could you put a knife in someone? Could you put a knife in someone? If someone come in your house in the middle of the night, you put a knife in someone.
What would you grab? The knife or gun?
Hang on, let's finish asking her what I was asking there, Welshie.
No, I wouldn't. Sorry.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I wouldn't.
You're going to get.
Yeah,
Angela.
Finish asking what I was. No
sorry, man. I know it's hard. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So, if you had a gun, would you shoot them at a distance? Would that be easier for you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't shoot anyone. Are you mad?
Would you shoot them?
Me, no.
If somebody was wanting to do you harm, and your only tools to defend yourself was a knife or a gun, which one would you grab?
I choose justice, law and order, and justice.
Honestly, you know what? No, you've got to think.
Bye-bye, Niggy. Bye-bye, Niggy.
No, because you know what? People have been in situations, you know, where...
Your head.
Okay, Bear.
Niggy, hang on. Can I just take a minute to say you kind of contradict yourself there, Niggy, to be fair. That's only because hang on. That's only because I've heard you on many occasions say that you're not one for calling the police, so therefore you don't believe in law and order because you wouldn't call them.
It's different. It's different when they do it. So this video Bear's just brought up here, right? It is a prime example of a vulnerable female from a vulnerable female, and she fights back. And this is a brilliant video to show it.
But this is this one instance. It means fuck all.
It does. It's brilliant. But listen to it. Honestly, she lost her husband a week before. She's 18,
right?
And she's on a house on her own, pregnant with a child, and this is how she responds. And good luck to her.
I will play it, but Niggy, go on, respond to that because I don't understand. You said you want to put your faith in the law enforcement, but you've already said many a time,
Bear.
You haven't done a guilty for being a bit late, man.
Also, I mean, this is an exercise in thinking, isn't it? This is a thinking exercise.
Yeah. Yes.
The position I'm taking is not necessarily my real life position, Bear.
This is my YouTube on discussion.
No, I can guarantee that would be my absolute choice. That I would not do anything.
Oh well,
if somebody,
I wouldn't rate your chances. I wouldn't rate your chances with some animal in your establishment.
Angela, Angela, can I ask you a question?
Hang on.
Do you have? You're talking there now, Scouser. Time for the Scouser to be quiet.
Come on. Can we play this video? Can we play this video?
I just want to ask Angela. So, Angela, do you have children?
Give the Scouser
a chance.
If somebody, I'll stop it. Be quiet. If somebody attacked your child, like if your child's life was in danger, would you pick up?
That's what this movie's about as well.
You know what? Absolutely, I would. You know, because 100%. Anyone hit my kid, that's it. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would straight. They. Oh my God, there's again. Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to: the right to be able to protect your loved ones.
I'd give my life for my daughter.
There we go.
But you shouldn't give your life. You should be able to take the fucker's life.
That's what I'm saying. I'd either do life.
So what you do, Angela? You pick up the both because then he can't pick up the other. That's what you do, and you obviously use the ping, and you finish him off.
No. I could not do that. I couldn't do it. I've been in situations where that.
Well, no, you haven't.
What do you mean I haven't?
Well, you trust me. The situation this woman's in here, you hopefully would have reacted the same way and blasted the fuckers away.
I wouldn't have
access to a gun.
Between the eyes, man.
Well, that's the hypothetical. That's the hypothetical you were given. You were given a hypothetical.
Yeah, so as things stand, Angela, if somebody come into your home, if someone come into your home to cause your children harm at the moment, you've very little options. You essentially have, a hammer.
No, hold a minute. No, wait. I'll put myself in front of my kids.
Oh, God Almighty!
And then you go take everyone out.
You've got to think, though. Yeah, you've got to think that we've never had to think about having guns.
You already said you'll put your life on the line. You already said you put your life on the line. So
no, I didn't know it. No. I would put myself in any situation. When you think about any attacks and stuff in the country, I'm not joking. When I went to the cinema and watched Deadpool 2, I haven't got a damn clue about what happened in it. Nothing. Because I was sat there thinking the whole time, what if...
Oh, no. Did you mute yourself?
Her gun at an intruder while she was on the phone with 911. 18-year-old Sarah McKinley says the operator told her she couldn't shoot until the man broke into her home, and the stunning moments that followed were all caught on tape. ABC's Ryan Owens has the story.
I wouldn't have done it, but it was my son. I'd protect him.
This young mother takes maternal instinct to a whole new level.
I walked over and got the 12 gauge, went in the bedroom and got the pistol and put the bottle in his mouth, and then I called 911.
18-year-old Sarah McKinley killed a man, she says, to protect her 3-month-old baby.
I'm here by myself with my infant baby. Can I please get a dispatcher out here immediately?
Late on New Year's Eve, police say 2 men, one armed with a 12-inch hunting knife, were trying to break into her home outside Oklahoma City. McKinley recognized one of them as someone she thought was stalking her.
He was from door to door trying to bust in. They said I couldn't shoot him until he come in the door.
Are your doors locked? Yes, I've got 2 guns in my hand. Is it okay to shoot him if he comes in the store?
I can't tell you that you can do that, but you do what you have to do to protect your baby.
The teen mother killed the 24-year-old intruder the second he stepped inside. Police call the shooting justified.
You're allowed to shoot an unauthorized person that is in your home. The law provides you the remedy and sanctions the use of deadly force.
The second intruder turned himself in. McKinley was home alone that night because her husband just died of cancer on Christmas Day. While her son may grow up without his father, this is one little boy who will always know Mom will do anything to protect him.
I knew that I was going to have to choose him or my son, and it wasn't going to be my son, so I did what I had to do. There's nothing more dangerous than a mother with her child.
For Good Morning America, Ryan Owens, ABC News, Dallas.
Boy, that is not.
And it's about the kids, man. Seriously, that is the whole reason why most people I know are armed, is to protect the children. All right? That's the main reason.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I've got a problem with that. Not one bit. Not one bit.
Honestly, man.
So the person secretly broke into the house to harm the child.
Well, the burglarized. Doesn't matter what they were going to do. They're breaking into the house.
Yeah, but you're phrasing it as in like, oh, and even that video was phrasing it. Oh, they're doing it to protect their child.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Was this guy just going to go blow away a baby? No, he wasn't.
He could have raped the mother. He could have done anything. He could have done anything. I'll guarantee that every criminal in that town will now turn around and realise if they even step 1 foot in a stranger's house, they're likely to get blown away. And if they're not blown away, they're not going. Then the person ain't going to get arrested for it. The sheriff's backing it.
Do you seriously think?
God, you've got some enemies if you think someone's going to. People that are entering your house are specifically there to murder you.
It doesn't matter what they're there for. If they're breaking your back door through, right? They're not welcome. They're going to get it in that town. And I tell you what, the criminals ain't going to be burglaring houses. They ain't going to be doing it.
Of course,
the way I see it, honestly,
they'll get blown away like the last guy, won't they?
I'll guarantee that houses broken
You don't know if they're going to
guarantee it. Guarantee there's been houses broken into.
It's like one less criminal out there.
Shall we have a look?
If she lived in Chicago, she'd have had to protect herself with a bat, a kosh, or a knife against 2 fully grown men. She's got a toddler in her arms, and she's pregnant. She just lost her husband 7 days earlier.
It'd be interesting to find out how long it took the police to get there.
Well, it doesn't matter if you've got a gun.
Do you seriously think people learn from that, will she?
Do you think, put it this way, if you're willing to break into my house, you forfeited your life right off the bat.
That sheriff will always side on the householder.
That's an American thing. That's not how it works.
That's why America is completely different to every country in the world when it comes to gun ownership.
In that one story, for instance, there's one less criminal on the road right now because she shot him. There's one less criminal. But honestly, man, if criminals, put it this way, there's a lot of reasons why criminals actually happen. But when it comes down to it, if they're less likely to do much anything,
know what they're going to do.
If they're willing, if they're not willing to get shot, because most criminals, they just want to get in and get out and get their thing and go. No harm, no interaction, none whatsoever. All right, that's what criminals want. They don't want to get in, they don't want to get an interaction with the homeowner. They don't want to get an interaction with anybody. They just want to get in and out. That's what a criminal wants, in a sense.
But you're less likely to burglarize a place that are gun friendly than a place that is gun free. Because if you went to a state where it was gun free, the criminals have guns, and none of the householders do have guns. Because if the householders get caught with guns, they're going to be in big trouble because they're not supposed to have guns in that state.
Using statistics anyway, gun owners are 80% more likely to use that gun upon themselves rather than actually against somebody else.
Yeah.
So
but that's
actually,
their choice. Do you mean by accident, or do you mean
no suicides by proper SIs?
They're going to do that anyway. They're going to do that anyway.
But what I'm getting at,
do owning a gun.
I'm dead against
it. Doesn't matter.
I'm dead against
it. Just happens to be quick and easy. That's the only reason why a lot of it happens.
But if they said no on a gun, they're going to get one anyway off someone, aren't they?
Legal guns is an equalizer, and that was proven by that 15-year-old pregnant woman there. It's an equalizer.
I was just want to ask the question when it comes down to it. This idea of just getting rid of all the guns, for instance. Okay, well that's a nice idea. That's a utopian type of an idea. But who controls the guns? Who has
the criminals? Who make them now?
Who will control?
3Z printer. Hey,
right.
You can make them on a 3D printer now. Do you know that?
Right. You can 3D print them and stuff. But that's a lawful right anyway. When it comes down to it, manufacturing our own weapons anyway. So but the thing is who will control them if nobody has them? I mean, not criminals, not citizens, not cops, not.
You're talking about in a perfect world, yeah. In a perfect world, yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. The rest of the world's not perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
America and Britain are obviously two very different frigging places and different cultures. So we'll never get this consensus in America. Over here,
Hang on.
we have a different way of thinking.
Not true. Like, actually, a lot of America's culture comes from ours. It's taken from us. It's just that we've allowed ourselves to be stripped of all our rights. That's the
Can I
only real.
add a word here, please?
Yeah, more than about 1,000 years worth of it. You know, what I
It's
mean?
about the children. You know, when you keep saying like it's
all about the
kids.
children.
It's about the kids. Firearms are the leading cause of death for American children and teens, responsible for nearly 4,400 deaths in 2020. Guns.
You know, swimming pools is right up there with it too. You know, it's like should we ban swimming pools too?
Just let that sink in, Wing. That you're talking again. Just let it sink in.
Nicky,
Firearms
it's like
are the
that in
leading
Liverpool.
cause of death for
15
children and
year
teens
olds
in your country.
using them, mate. 15-year-olds using them in our city, mate. You don't come here with a knife for the fight to Liverpool because the kids use them.
The baddies have got guns. The baddies have got guns, eh?
It's bad. It's
No,
bad.
the young kids have got guns in this country.
Yes, that's my point, everybody.
That's why you'd
What are you going to do? So what are you going to do then? Go and shoot kids then when they come at you?
No, my point is that if guns are illegal, it doesn't stop criminals from buying guns.
It's
Well, kids at any age can pull that trigger. You know,
it stops lawful Americans from having guns. That's what it
Why
does.
don't
When
you
you ban
understand
guns.
that no guns part? Why can't you understand
For
it?
the Americans though that go in and have their guns, that's fair enough, and they're allowed to like defend their property, let's say. But when there surely has to be a line where you know, like if someone's coming to rob your house, they're coming to rob your house. They're not coming to harm you.
Well, you don't know that. You're not going to ask questions.
No, you don't know that. But when you've when you're in a court of law, that's for them to decide.
No. So your choices are they're going to rob you, they're going to grape you, or they're going to do another one, unalive you. So they're your options.
What I'm saying is, though, if you're upstairs,
I ain't going to wait for the options. I'm going to react.
Well, I've got an option for you, Welshie. You'd rather have firearms as the leading cause of death for our teenagers, would you?
What was that?
Well, do you want that to happen here? The firearms are the leading cause of death for children.
No, I'm not saying guns are perfect either. But I've got to say it, and I keep on saying it. That if you in America, if you ban guns, let me just make this sentence.
Imagine that the leading.
Let me just make the statement. I heard you. Nikki. Can we have a conversation?
Right. No, not normally with you now.
But in Chicago they've banned guns, but it's got one of the highest murder rates. It's got one of the highest murder rates in America, proving that by banning guns doesn't stop gun murder. What it does is stops law-abiding citizens from having guns. The criminals still kill people.
Repeating the same thing doesn't matter.
Right then, well, it's just factual, and you're not getting.
It will stop mass shootings, won't it? And that's what this was about. Well, it wasn't about that, was it?
What was it
over there. No, hold on a minute. Over there, it's equivalent now. Mass shootings, 4 or more, yeah? And that's on average over there at the moment, 2 a day.
Right, Angela. Well, I was saying before.
Right, 2 a day, Angela.
No, that is. Yeah, it is. 4 or more people is classed as mass shooting.
Got you all the way up as well. I'm saying Scouse is really low. He keeps trying to talk, and it's like.
Sorry.
A bit.
Scouse, I talk over you as well. I'm sorry, mate.
No,
right. What I wanted to say to Angela, right, when I said before about 15-year-olds, I'm talking about the 15-year-old, 16-year-old gangs in Liverpool that are up to no good anyway. So, to Wingnut, it's a totally different thing. Like, they can get guns. They can get guns willy-nilly there, right? A gun over here costs a lot of money, right? It's a different type of person, right? Obviously, they're selling drugs. Who can afford to buy? Who can afford to buy them type of things? It's called straps, right? And there's hardly anyone gets stabbed. The odd one gets stabbed, but what happens is when the guns, because they can't they don't know how to use them properly and all that. They ends up fucking going hitting innocent people and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
They're just using them just randomly, aren't they? Because it's they've got it on them.
And once they start with them, you see, they know that like if they don't kill them, right? They're going.
Hey, and let me ask you this:
they're going to come.
Hang on,
Let me finish. The chances are they're going to come back and do you. You see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, they're gonna go. There's a lad round here who was 17, and at the time, and he had a gun on him. And this man, I think he was like mid-30s or whatever, came along and supposedly ran over his electric scooter. He went up, followed the guy up to his house, and went and shot him in the stomach. He went to shoot him again, but it jammed. And he's now serving 18 years. He was 17 at the time. He's serving 18 years now. And then another lad again, but he was part of like doing drugs, whatever, in the area. And then there's another lad down the road who, not down the road, like for me, well, he was, yeah, but he was always like doing money and whatever. And then he went down to say drop off and that, and then he was going to be robbed at that point. And what he did is he had
It's all about drugs, isn't it, Angela?
yeah, absolutely. And he stabbed this lad. Dad
that's
died.
What I was saying to ring
and but he got manslaughter though. He got manslaughter and he got 8 years.
He got 8
but their kids,
then.
Yeah, he killed the guy there, but because the guy was coming to attack him, yeah, and even though he killed him, it was like
Must have
manslaughter.
Done it, course, yeah, it's on a deal. It's on a deal in court or something. But yeah, it's different.
There's a stabbing on Christmas Day about 300 meters away from me on Christmas Day.
It's a different culture than Wingnuts. The way it is here, like he's saying. So you wouldn't. What I'm saying, Angela, is you wouldn't get anyone in the UK that who owns guns and that, right, to be burgling houses. It doesn't happen. They're a different league. They're selling drugs and making big money.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go and rob someone's house. No. To be fair, they get their heads punched in, burglars. You know what I mean? Even they won't fucking put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Them type of lads, them gangs in Liverpool, that like, listen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fair point, that, mate. Yeah.
Once they start over there, it's different. It's like it's war. Do you know what I mean? But innocent people get caught up in it, but it's a different culture to Wingnuts. Like a burglar over there can go and get a gun or borrow a gun off anyone. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone see I8's live? One of the last ones, and he has an American on, and he started shooting his pistol. And we were all saying, oh, tell him to stop doing it. You get a strike for that, right? But what he done was, he said, you got a license for that gun? And he went, yeah, no problem. And that. I said, just put it up on the thing, on the screen there. So the people on the live can see it, that you're an American and that. And he did. He put his license on. He weren't bothered, do you know what I mean, about his name or anything like that. And he was like showing us out. Just like on a target, I think it was, or just firing at the back. Boom, bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? And 9 milli. It was smart. He said, I can just go and get these for $200 and that. Do you know what I mean? He said, and that's quite dear for what it was. Do you know what I mean? Over here, you'd be talking it's grand the grands and that. So them type of people. You see, BBA wouldn't be burgling our houses, mate. They'd take that as like an insult.
Hello?
Still there? Oh, it's him.
You
you cut off a little bit there.
Just saying, it's just a totally different culture than Wingnuts. Wingnuts, the type of person who wouldn't burgle houses who have guns here in Liverpool because they cost a lot of money.
They're just dickheads that do that game.
Yeah, but the big signs, they're classed as like they're doing whatever. They're not burgling houses. In fact, they was absolutely mad at someone who's doing houses He battered them. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's a totally different culture than what we're not on about. Totally different. Because
right, mate.
they can get them willy nilly. They're over there. It's a different type of person who has them, and they don't burgle houses with guns. I would say 99% of burglars don't burgle houses with guns. You don't hear of it. You just don't hear of it.
Welshman just likes to imagine himself, you know.
Well, it's all the facts are there. All the facts are there. Chicago, many cities like New Orleans, another dry city, I believe, as well. And yet the gun deaths are through the roof in there. It's not. We're not talking about burglaries. He specifically was talking about burglaries. We're talking about gang violence.
Yeah, God, that's different, isn't it?
That's different. So I'm talking. I'm talking about gun deaths, which would include gang violence, and home burglaries. Yeah, because if a burglar burgles a house with a gun, it's even more. They're even in more trouble because they're massive charges if they're gun. But like
I'm not going to assume what their intent is. Yeah.
But hypothetically, if we were, if America were to ban all guns, you would agree that there would be less deaths in America, yeah?
No.
Yeah, but that's if you could get rid of all guns.
Yeah, I'm just it's an hypothetical question. So less guns means less deaths, does it not?
No.
Yeah,
no. Of course it does. Of course it does. Come on, don't talk immaculate.
Every single measure that there is tells you that look it up, mate.
Anyway, I've got to drop. My power's going. BBA, I'm off in chat. Cheers for having us on.
No, see you later, Jay.
Panel, man.
Go on, Nicky. Sorry, mate.
I'm sorry, mate. I said what?
I thought you were just saying something.
No, I think I'm pretty much ready for bed. To be honest, I think we're pretty much done about this, aren't we? It was an exercise in thinking, anyway, wasn't it? What if they were?
Still didn't get down to the airplanes, though, did we? While I went down there.
Well, she agrees. Less guns means less deaths.
See that? So it's something we should be worried about instead of guns. Instead of imagining guns, you know, when they banned lead from petrol in cars and stuff. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Petrol used to have lead in it, and the fucking world was dying because people were getting stupid because of it. So they banned it from cars about 30 years ago. It's still used in aircraft. I had no idea, but they still use add lead to air fuel. And
another one
of fucking lead. That is a hell of a lot to be in the atmosphere.
Another one, Niggy, is the ships. They only use clean fuel when they're close to the coast. As soon as they get into open seas, they use dirty fuel to power the ships.
I don't know, I've seen it.
Yeah, because you see the thingy, the slicks, don't you?
Yeah.
I just never knew that. I thought it was just
belching that they're burning. They use heavy oil.
Basically, I think they have two tanks, completely different tanks, for obviously, towards the coast, and then as soon as you get into open sea,
they fucking clean it out and they put stuff back in it. They clean it out by fucking.
Daily News says America owns Britain. I don't know if you've done your research, but I'd probably say it's the other way around, to be fair. But you know,
do we want it back? Would we have it back? Bear, what do you think?
No, they can.
It never was yours in the first place.
Oh yeah, it was
5 years. Did you think the 5 years as it was in the UK? Would you say?
Sorry, Scouser.
Would you say we're 5 years behind the USA?
No.
Well,
on some things.
Yeah, not with guns and stuff. Not with guns. With certain things, yeah.
So still in the 60s, man.
Yeah, America is about 5-10 years behind Europe when it comes to cars driving into people. But it'll become more and more common.
Yeah, there'd be
ban
stats
cars,
every country
ban
like that, yeah.
cars.
Charlie, I saw it. Charlie Chalk. I saw it. A guy yesterday explaining that it's not only in small aircraft. It's also in the big ones, apparently. Yeah, I know this, but it doesn't really appear to. It doesn't really. I used to quote this a lot myself. This those who would give up
See you
essential
later, Lord in
temporary
Ireland.
safety.
And I could get a word in, lads.
Well, temporary safety. You don't. You know, we're not looking for temporary safety, are we? We're looking for long-term safety.
I do believe it's a lot easier though to shoot someone than it is to stick something in them right
Yeah.
up close.
So you see why I think it would be such an issue, like you say, the difference between us is culture.
So easy.
Yeah.
You'd be able to sleep at night and everything,
Like
honestly.
there, I get Welshie's point. To think you're going to just diminish and get rid of all those guns when there's more guns in America than people by quite a bit as well, I think. It's just insane. However, at the same time, as much as I could go, yeah, I kind of support the American way of thinking, I don't think that there could now be a point in time where we could be like, right, we want our guns back. Because if we were to do that, those deaths that we're seeing a lot of up and down the country by knife crime, which, like I said, is got to be at an all-time high in the UK, right?
Yeah,
or certainly in England,
down
up
south
and down
and
the
that,
country.
yeah.
If you were to replace that with guns being more easily available
Yeah.
against gangs, then it would be insane. Those one
We would worry about it then.
Bear, think about it now, right? If, for example, hypothetically, in America, they did take all the guns, and for some reason, everyone gave their guns up in America. You know what would be the first thing to go in America then? The First Amendment will be gone. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of because that's basically what a lot of these countries do in the end. But America is unique and not like everywhere else in the world. The reason why unique can't get invaded, the reason why America can't get invaded really is because everyone in America's got guns. And they'll be getting shot at from every angle from any American.
What price, though? I still can't get over this. The fact that the leading cause of death for kids, it should be fucking something like suicide, or something like that, that's fixable. If you put, this.
Listen, if someone's in that frame of
children
mind,
and teenagers is guns. Fancy having to teach your kid how to hide in a school.
If someone's in that frame of
half the
mind, anyway.
Yeah,
whether it's by gun or whether it's by taking tablets and a bottle of vodka. If someone's in that frame of mind, it's what's available.
Yeah, they'll just
do it anyway.
If you take away the guns, then that takes away those school shootings. Which
there was a
serious problem with school
shootings. You really there a bit, lads. Come on. Let's be having it, nice.
There was a school shooting a couple of years ago, about 2-3 years ago, where he had got in. He had got into his dad's locker, his gun locker. And he went and shoot the school up. They arrested the father, and rightly so, because of all accounts, he had mental issues. It was raised on a number of occasions. He had mental issues. he talked some shit openly before. So how and why was he allowed to have these guns available to him? Yeah, of course.
Let me tell you something that's quite
insane. It can cause massive problems.
Keep it up, man.
I want to say two things. One, I want to answer to Charlie. Scales, give us a sec. I want to answer to Charlie. He is right. 55% of gun-related deaths in the USA are from suicides. That's quite insane when you think about it. 55%, a massive number, which tells me when you start looking at that, the bigger problem rather than the guns is the mental health issues within America that isn't being tackled, right?
Yeah. And that is a problem we share with America.
Two. I told you I'm going to be doing this interview, yeah?
What do you think the cause of the mental problem is?
I'll let you in on a little thing that will blow your mind. So this person who committed this crazy atrocity, this act of shooting up a load of people. Some months before, had a standoff with SWAT outside their home. Like a 3-4 hour standoff, I believe, outside their home. Right. They were arrested. After they were arrested, the police dropped the charges. There was no further action. Right. They just dropped the charges for something like that. That sounds insane, right? A big standoff. There was more to it, which you'll hear about. And they dropped the charges. Now, again, you would think something like that, they would, one, deal with that, and two, there's got to be a mental health issue maybe there, right? No, they just let this person go. Not long after, this person then goes on to commit a mass shooting. So again, it goes to tell me that there's definitely issues within the whole system in the US where people aren't getting any support with mental health issues, and the government are doing crazy things, knowing what people could potentially be capable of because of actions they've already committed. Then go and let somebody off with no support, no charges held against them, and as I said, some months later go on to commit.
Well, it works in their favor when it comes down to disarming the American people, because then they can use that as a jumping off point to, oh, we need to get rid of all guns. Look at this. We want to stop this. When they had full, in some cases, they had full knowledge of these people. And, you know, they've had interactions with them before, but yet they just let it happen. You know what I mean? Where, you know, but it's just one of them things, dude. It's like, I think it plays into their hand. Because even the attempt on Trump, I mean, that was a springboard on to disarm people. Oh, we can't have that. You know?
On that. Right?
Well, I mean, it's all a springboard. It's all a springboard. Even the drone scenario.
Bring notes 1 sec, lads. You know, the American media, your news outlets and that over there, right? They tell terrible lies, mate. It's well known.
They do here. It's no different here, Scouts. It's no different than here.
Yeah, but America, it's more amplified, BBA. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it is. I don't know if you know about it. It's quite interesting as well. Look up something called Operation Mockingbird regarding
CIA.
Yeah. Go look at that shit. That's very interesting, and that will tell you how the CIA
the media.
Can I just add about these mass shooters, right? People who do these mass shooters, before they did it, they were mostly normal, law-abiding citizens, weren't they?
Well, no, there's lots of signals to say that they got issues.
I'm trying to say to you, there's individuals where no, they've done stuff before. And listen, I listen to Americans turn around and sit there, and some will say conspiracy theorists are all of these mass shootings are fake and they're all orchestrated and it's actors.
Not all of them.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I think that's bollocks, right?
I know a fella got fined for that.
There is points where it has been.
No. I won't have that. However, there are clearly times like this incident that I'm talking about where, like, somebody's done something that's very concerning, man. A standoff with SWAT, doing what they done for as long as they did. Like, that person clearly needs some help. Yeah. They should probably even be facing some charge. They should be
10 years stretch for that.
Accountability for that. However, they wasn't. So that's where sometimes I think, do the government purposely know about these people but not act on them until it's too late, because that's the narrative that they want to push, that look, these mass shootings are happening and we need to take away your guns. I don't think it's orchestrated. I think that's a stretch. There would have to be too many people involved and it would never be kept.
I think it's
I'm going to say yes, and the reason is you see at riots, you see these fucking policemen dressed as, like, trying to pretend to be civvies and making it kick off. Yeah, absolutely. It would happen. It would happen. It would go from riots to guns. Yes, of course it would.
Yeah.
They'll use them. They'll use people.
Listen,
like
I could tell you something that'd blow your fucking heads off, but I couldn't say it on here.
Oh,
that's
you can't say that. Leave us hanging. Is a clue.
Because I talk about Ben Busy's on here, BBI.
Can you talk about who?
Ben Busy's, Ben Police.
Well, that's what we cover, man.
Right. So when we lived in Thailand, right, My mate lived there as well, right? So we used to go on a thing called Lads Night Out, and my mate owned like these apartments anyway that he rented out. He brought these two fellas anyway. They ended up being, long story short, two Benz Matrix, right? One of them was the sergeant, and the other one was just a normal Matrix. You know, armed to the teeth and that. Bastards, basically, they was. But me and my mate acted like we were fucking non-members type of thing. Didn't know the score and that. Like, hooray! You know, one of them ones, and we were like winking at each other. And you know what he was telling us? Like, a squad, right? They all have to be bent, right?
Yeah, can you tell us what a matrix is, please?
Matrix is like they're the bastard ones.
Yeah. TSG, TSG boys, yeah.
They used to be called OSG.
Right. Yeah. There's different names. There's different names. So TSG is the Territorial Support Group, basically the riot police. The riot police, are they? Matrix.
No, they don't think of it. No, right,
okay.
Yeah, right. It's not like that. But these are the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? That run the streets that everyone's petrified of, because the bastards and that, and the stuff that they were telling us, because they were getting big egos. Because most of the people that would be at the table, like I said, wouldn't be being a criminal, and they were haters of criminals. They were them type of people, okay? Just normal Joe Blogs workers that wasn't criminals and were like against it all. So these coppers like coming out with it all, and they're going, "Oh, we had it done the same. If I had been in that position and all that, they were taking watches and everything, mate, right, and sticking down on money, and they were proper at the bollocks. Do you know what I mean? And like the dealers couldn't say nothing. Do you know? So yeah, they couldn't say nothing because they're gonna get done for more dough. You know what I mean? More like money laundering. It went proper deep. I so like we were going, where do you get your intelligence from and all that? And they were they were telling us all sorts. They were going, a lot of it comes from like the criminals themselves, rival gangs and stuff, and they don't hardly do things now. You know, they use drones and mate, the stuff that they were coming out with, mate, because they were getting an ego inflation from it. But Stuart, the sergeant, he was getting like annoyed with it that this fucking Neil was coming out with all the shite that he was coming out with. You could tell sometimes by the look on his face and that, you know what I mean? Because me and my mate Dave were hitting him with all sorts of like questions, you know what I mean? It was mainly us that were blown away, mate, by some of the stuff that they told us. And he said, like, if this went in the newspaper, right, in Liverpool, right, like the local Liverpool Echo, they'd be like 1 or 2 every day. He went, so what they do is they just
careful. Chicken wait.
This is what I mean. How could I put it? Yeah, I couldn't even. That's why I said before, BBI.
Careful.
Do you know what I mean?
Be careful how you put things, man.
Yeah, I'm just so like so there'd be one as I say, like that'd go locally. You know what I mean? So it was kept behind closed doors, and he just got rid of them, but he kept the pension. Do you know what I mean? they were just off skis on the quiet, on the QT, and with full pension. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And these were out there living it large. You know what I mean? But horrible, like, you know, living a double life type of thing, like robbing them, this life of work, and you know what I mean? Like, different when you come home, and you know, you get what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to be some kind of person to do it, haven't you? Be able to pull it off.
Goes deep, mate. You know, honestly, I couldn't even.
Money's a hell of a driver, isn't it?
Yeah, money, mate. Like, what is that he found? Others, the paper that he found. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most of the people have to say, well, you see, but egging them on, going like, yeah, I'd do that myself. You know what I mean? If I was one of them.
Yeah.
One of them, and like, they were getting, the ego was going up. Well, one of them was, do you know what I mean? His ego was getting inflated, and the more it got inflated, the more it come out. Do you know what I mean? Out of him, because he loved it, because he was getting the attention. You see, the limelight was on him, but you could see with the other one, his mate being kind of happy. You know what I mean? Also, you could tell, because it started getting less and less and less and less. Started getting less and less, and kind of like new. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, I can't believe all of it. Blew me head off, to be honest. I mean, mates. Do you know what I mean? You're just, when you think you know, you think you know it all, mate, and you're just like, wow, what have I just heard there? Wow, you know what I mean?
So, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, it's bedtime for this little Welshman. I'm going to wish you good night.
Welshman,
thank you very much. Yeah, North Wales, mate.
No worries, mate. It's only a short one. I'm probably going to shut it down in a minute myself.
Yeah, thanks for having us up, guys. Thank you for the chat. Love and peace, everybody.
See you later. It's been a good little debate on it, BBI.
Yeah, well, I was trying to follow.
It don't usually catch you, lads.
You what, mate?
I don't usually catch you. I only catch you now and again, don't I?
Yeah, I know, man. It's good to see you, bro. It's good to
see you. Later all.
But I'm always
respect, mate. Thanks for coming, bro.
Nice.
I had to come on, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
the weight's gone.
Yeah, man. Well, happy New Year to everyone. Anyway, like I said,
yeah, man.
Now we're
Happy New Year, and big up the chat. Bring nuts. Nice meeting you, lads. And
no worries.
Thanks for having us on, lads. Respect, yeah.
Yeah, respect, man. Girls, take care. Wingnut, again, pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll probably be live tomorrow.
The conversation is good. The conversation's good, though.
Oh, yeah. Conversation's always good, man. Like, it's the way we do things, right? Learning from each other and things, you know. The Knights Templar Church. That's a new name. Evening or morning. Hi, BBO. What's your first visit? Your visit, to the Banbury Hotel. The whole setup of the Invader Hotel. Sinister, to say the least. We have migrants, guarded invaders. Keep up the great work. Yeah, it's some crazy shit, right? But yeah,
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You have a good one out there, BB.
Yeah, and you, bro. Take care, bro. But yeah, man, Happy New Year to everyone again. Anne-Marie Stepper Style, Nomadic Brit. Hope you had a good Christmas, mate, and a good New Year and that. I know when I spoke to you around Christmas time, you said you're having a good one of your best, so respect. Angela, bit crazy. Some of you were a bit quiet on panel tonight, and I did try and turn everybody up. Some people's mics seem to be louder than others. So, but yeah, why are you finishing? Because it's late. The night is not young. It is late. I started this live late. It was never going to be a long one. I'll if no one's live during the day tomorrow. What day are we on tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon I'll do one. And just open up the panel. So, but yeah, take care everyone. UK Dom, respect bro. Take care everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Peace.